Hello, welcome to Python Basics with EJD. In this video, I'm still talking about uh, Python packages. I've taken a handful like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, Keras, and TensorFlow and Keras. Then in the last video, I talked about PyTorch, which is very good for neural networks, right? Of course, I've talked about other ones too, like Beautiful Soup for, I think, Beautiful Soup and Scrapy for web scraping and things like that. So here in this video, I'll be talking about Hugging Face Transformers for natural language processing. Hugging Face Transformers for natural language processing. What is this about? Of course, to my mind, natural language processing is one of the branches of artificial intelligence, others being machine learning, robotics, expert systems, and computer vision, right? So it seems TensorFlow and all of that will go for computer vision, for instance, while for natural language processing, now we have Hugging Face Transformers. Of course, as you can see, the word transformers, it can probably remind you of large language models and things like that. When it comes to even the generative AI that is actually all over the place and that came on board since around September 2022. So Hugging Face Transformers for natural language processing. The Hugging Face Transformers library is one of the most widely adopted frameworks for modern natural language processing tasks. It provides easy access to state-of-the-art models, pre-trained weights, tokenizers, and training utilities that make it possible to build, fine-tune, and deploy deep learning models with minimal overhead. Of course, one thing is once you hear the word tokens, tokenizers, and things like that, you should already know we are talking about some kind of language model, right? So below we have a structured breakdown of its core components. That's the core components of Hugging Face Transformers. So first of all, we talk about tokenization and embeddings. Transformers rely on numerical representations of text. So you have text, but then you are representing them numerically. So Hugging Face offers efficient tokenizers and embedding mechanisms. I guess I can improve this. Let me put it in bullet form, right? Okay. So yeah, like we see, transformers rely on efficient representation of text, and Hugging Face offers efficient tokenizers and embedded mechanisms. So for tokenization, what happens here is it splits raw text into smaller units, like subwords, words, or even characters. And then it handles special tokens, e.g. CLS, SEP, PAD, and mask. And it uses techniques like byte pair encoding, word piece, and sentence piece. An example is you have the word transformers are powerful, and then it breaks it down into something like transform, comma, hashtag, hash, ERS are powerful. So you have some kind of breakdown of the sentence into bits like that. So that's talking about tokenization. So you're breaking them down into tokens, if you like. So for embeddings now, each token is mapped to a dense vector representation. So every token you have is mapped to a dense vector representation, and embeddings capture semantic and syntactic meaning. So you have to talk about semantics and syntax. All right. Models also add positional encoding. So word order is preserved, right? So Hugging Face integrates tokenizers directly with models to ensure compatibility. And then we go ahead and we have things like pre-trained models like BERT, GPT. Of course, I mean, you should already know that's where the idea of ChatGPT came from, and so on and so forth. One of the major contributions of Hugging Face is the Model Hub, which hosts thousands of pre-trained models, right? So for BERT, that is bidirectional encoder representations from transformers. So these are encoder-based model, good for classification, question answering, and sentence level tasks. And it is trained with masked language modeling, MLM, and next sentence prediction, that is NSP. Well, I mean, uh, on our phones already, right? We have this idea of word prediction, but then here we're talking about next sentence prediction. And of course, the powerful GPT, from where we have Chat GPT. That GPT, by the way, means generative pre-trained transformer. Generative pre-trained transformer. So this is a decoder-based model, and it is auto-regressive. It predicts the next token based on whatever token you have now. And it is powerful for text generation, summarization, and dialogue systems. So based on that, you can already imagine how that chat GPT operates, generative pre-trained transformer. So talking about other notable models, we have things like RoBERTa. Of course, it has that BERT in between. It is robustly optimized BERT, and then you have distill BERT, which is distill BERT, which is lighter, faster, and it is a variant of that BERT, like that. So you have T5, that's text-to-text transformer. That's that should look, yeah, that's like T in five places. Text to text transformer. That's T5. Text-to-text transformer. It treats all natural language processing tasks as text to text. Then you have BART. So it's a denoising encoder, and it is great for summarization. Then you have XLNet, Electra, DeBerta, Bloom, Falcon, and Llama. Of course, Llama was one of those, when the whole generative AI thing was really like a buzz when it started out. Llama was one of the language models that came up. I think one of the big companies was using that. Was it Microsoft Word or something, or one of these organizations? I'm not sure which one now. Then you have the Model Hub usage. Hugging Face provides easy loading via the auto model and auto tokenizer classes. So you have something like from tokenizers, import auto tokenizer, BERT for sequence classification. So you have the tokenizer now, auto tokenizer from pre-trained BERT based on cached model, BERT for sequence classification. You have all that, so you can run that. Of course, I mean, Google Colab, if you're running a code for the first time, it takes a bit of time before you get the results, before you get the output that is. So for model-based usage, from transformers, you import auto tokenizer and BERT for sequence classification or anything else you might need from that. So that talks about the Model Hub usage. Okay. So let's wait patiently for this. I think it's taking too much time. I don't expect it to take this long, but it's okay. We are patiently waiting for this to give us the results. Yeah, that's it. Oh, okay. So I think I know why it's actually not a small process, right? So here we have the secret HF token does not exist in your collab secret. Okay. So authenticate with the Hugging Face Hub. Create a token in your settings tab. Please set it as a secret in your Google Colab and restart. So you will be able to reuse this secret in all of your notebooks. Well, I'm not interested in that. I'm just doing. So if I ever have to use natural language processing, I may have to, go that way. Well, for me, I'm not interested in that right now. I'm just introducing the package generally. So please know that authentication is recommended, but still optional to access public models or data sets. So you have this whole tokenizer configuration in JSON, blah, blah, config, vocab texts, and all these things. So some weights of BERT for the sequence classification were not initialized from model checkpoints, are dead based on case, and are newly initialized. So you have classifier bias, classifier.weight. You should probably train this model on a downstream task to be able to use it for prediction and inference. Yeah, I'm not interested in all that. I'm just introducing the concept of Hugging Face transformers generally. So that takes me to fine-tuning models. So pre-trained models serve as a foundation. Fine-tuning customizes them for specific tasks. Then why do we fine-tune? It saves time and computational resources. Then it requires smaller data sets compared to training from scratch. Then it leverages knowledge encoded in the pre-trained model. So don't forget GPT again. I'm using this opportunity to commit it to memory again. Generative pre-trained transformer. Okay, so fine-tuning steps include the following: load pre-trained model and tokenizer from Hugging Face, prepare data set in tokenized formats, e.g. IMDb reviews, that's talking about movies, and then you have squad, then you have define task specific head, e.g. classification layer, QA head, train using the trainer API or a custom PyTorch or TensorFlow loop, and evaluate and save model for inference. Then you have trainer API. The Hugging Face Trainer API simplifies training, evaluation, and logging. An example is what we have down here. So we have from touch.utils.data import dataset, import touch, then classify dummy datasets. Then so we are doing OOP now, object-oriented programming. So once you see class, that's object-oriented programming, and every class goes with some functions defined under it to get its own tasks done. So we have this initialization going on here. So we need number of samples. So you have number of samples, dummy data. So impute IDs, touch tensor, 1, 2, 3, attention mask, tensor, touch tensor, 1, 1, 1 labels. So that's like some kind of dummy data set, as we said. Then you define length, self, return number of samples, get item. You also have this. Then you train data sets, that's dummy data set, then evaluate the data set for 20 samples. Then you can then print that here. So you have dummy train data set created with length train data set samples, and dummy evaluate data set created with this, and then you run this and you have dummy train data set created with 100 samples, and then it is evaluated with 20 samples. That's just as happened there, what has happened before. So if I do 30, to just change it, 100 samples, 30 samples, like that. Okay, then we have from transformers, you can import trainer and training arguments. So for training arguments now, so you output directory results now, and then you have evaluation. Okay, does it mean that we have a folder called result that has joined? Okay, no, it's not there. So let's see what happens. So evaluation strategy, epoch, remove this argument. So you have per device train batch size 16, num train epochs 3, weight decay 0.01, reports to none, disable weights and biases integration. I'm not really into natural language processing, but I mean, it's something, maybe after machine learning, maybe it's something I may want to get interested in. Let's see how that goes. And you have trainer equals trainer, model is model, we initialize with the updated model. Then you have arguments, training arguments, and all that. Then trainer.train, you can run that and see what you get out of that. So it's still running. So we have steps, training loss going like that. And then we hope to get the results when it's done. Okay. Epoch 3/3. I think it's all done. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's all done now. So we have training outfits, global step 21, training loss is at 0.1, blah, blah. Metrics, train runtime 23.20, train samples per second 12.97, train steps per second 0.905, and all these things, total loss, and so on and so forth. So we can now see applications of fine-tuned models. We can use fine-tuned models in sentiment analysis. I mean, you get a text that is, maybe you conduct an interview or you get a textbook or something. You want to analyze, the kind of emotion going on in that text or something. So sentiment analysis can help with that. Then you have named entity recognition, NER, and you have machine translation, you have text summarization and conversational agents. In fact, I think I'm interested in natural language processing. I may have to make a playlist on it. I think it's I think I'm beginning to see, maybe I even like it more than deep learning. So after machine learning, I think natural language processing is where I'm going to next. Let's see how that works. Okay. Then you have ecosystem and extensions. So you have Hugging Face. Hugging Face goes beyond just models. It provides a full ecosystem of tools and resources that supports the entire natural language processing workflow. So I may want to, dig deep into Hugging Face Transformers now that I've picked interest in natural language processing. Then you have the datasets library. So it offers ready-to-use benchmark datasets. Then it provides tools for loading, preprocessing, and splitting data. Then it integrates seamlessly with Hugging Face models. Then you have tokenizer libraries. So they are highly optimized, fast tokenization library written in Rust. And you have it supports modern algorithms like BPE, word piece, and sentence piece, like we saw there before. Then designed for both research and production. Then you have accelerate, simplifies training on multiple GPUs and TPUs, and it handles device placement, and distributed training automatically. And it reduces boilerplate code for scaling experiments. These are some extensions of the Hugging Face ecosystem. Still on that, we have Inference API, which allows deployment of models with minimal setup, and it provides REST endpoints for 7 predictions. It scales easily in production environments. Then you have Spaces for platform to it's a platform to share and demo and demonstrate applications, I believe. That's what that was supposed to be. Then it provides support frameworks like Streamlit and Gradio, encourages community-driven experimentation and collaboration. I think this should be 50.5. Interesting. This is the 50th video on this in this playlist of Python basics. Interesting. I never need to come it's become this much. All right. So in summary, we see that Hugging Face Transformers streamline end-to-end natural language processing workflows from raw text tokenization to using pre-trained models to find tuning for specific downstream tasks. All right. So I think this has really made me interested in natural language processing. So I might be moving on to natural language processing after machine learning like I've done already. All right, so this is cool, and we are done with this as far as Hugging Transformers are concerned. So if you think you are interested in natural language processing, you may want to dig deeper into this, or I mean, just let me know in the comment section. Maybe you can make me start doing this very fast. You know, if I have people who are really interested in natural language processing, you may push me to go fast earlier than, because I'm not in a hurry. I have a lot of a lot of playlists outlined for me to do already. So let's see how this goes. Interestingly, I mean, I just got a brainwave today that maybe I want to create a playlist on fun Python projects, maybe Python for doing very sweet things like maybe converting text to audio, converting speech to text and things like that, how to use Python to do all of those things. So you can look forward to that kind of playlist. So I don't know how soon I'm going to start that out because I have other playlists outlined already, but let's see how all of this goes. But if I have people who are really interested in any of these things I've outlined, maybe natural language processing or fun projects in Python, maybe that can give me some ginger to quickly start it out. So if you're interested in any of these things, comment whether on Facebook or on YouTube, comment, let me know how interested you are in this. All right, so with this, I come to the end of this interesting video about Hugging Face Transformers for natural language processing, right? Okay, so let me know how helpful this video is for you. And if there's something you'd like me to try out, feel very free to let me know too. If you have subscribed already to this channel, I'm very grateful to you. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? In fact, I am waiting for you right now to subscribe. Please go ahead and subscribe. Okay, thank you for subscribing. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can always get alerted each time a new video is released, right? Then you can take it a step further. You can become a member of this channel by clicking on join, and you'll find 3 levels of membership. I think there's access, there's bronze, silver, and gold access, like that. And each of them comes with some special privileges. And you definitely want to be a special member of this channel. Feel free to avail yourself of that opportunity. All right. And ultimately, don't forget to comment, like, and share this video so that more people comment, like, share, so that more people can have access to the great content I have going on here. Till I come your way again, keep doing Python right. Bye.